They're here in the DeKalb County area in Atlanta. Taylor Tucker with the front end of the three-point play the hard way. Can't get the free throw to come through, just off the front of the rim. 6-4 ball game. 2-point advantage now for the Celtics. Cookies taken there by Ebony Hargrove. And again, finishing there, nearly an and one there as well, Taylor Tucker. 8-4 ball game after that Tucker bucket. The Celtics trying to crank things up here. Philly Freedom Stars continue to try to work in the paint. That's going to be a 3-second violation. Substitution named for Coach Garner's. Freedom Star is going to be number 3, Natalie Ryan. So it's a 4-point advantage for the Celtics. They're looking to add to it. Momentum on their side here. A couple finishes by Taylor Tucker have them in a good spot. Three-pointer from the corner. That's off the mark. Rebounded inside there by Ayana Mazik. Stepping into the three-pointer, just short. It's right on line. It won't go for Taya Thornton. Here's Thornton now, getting from point A to point B in a hurry and finishing with the deuce. Taya Thornton out of Camden Catholic. The bucket makes it a 2-point ball game, still in favor of the Lady Celtics. They've got a twin tower of sorts working on the inside. You got number 24, Tiara Steeds, and you've got number 21, Taylor Tucker. Both of them long and using that length to finish here on offense. Foul before she could finish, but Tiara Steed at the free throw line. Good on the first. Second one on the way, in and out. So still a 9-6 ball game in favor of the Celtics. Too much air under that pass. Alexis Brown's all over it. She breaks it up, but Stars able to retain possession. Tough shot. Good defense, better offense there. That bucket knocked down by Taya Thornton. Very hard to keep both Steed and Tucker off of the boards. They both got a 2+ trips to the free throw line apiece here. Substitutions back into the game for Philly Freedom Stars, number 33, Brittany Gardner. Alexis Brown gonna try a three-pointer. Money in the bank. Makes it a 12-8 ball game. Alexis Brown, the sister of Tukey Brown, also of Morgan County High School here in Georgia. Tukey, one of the better point guards you'll find in the state. point guard for state champion Morgan County. Part of that Morgan County championship team, head coached by Charlemagne Gibbons, who actually went on after the season to take an assistant coach position down at Florida Atlantic. Miscommunication on the pass ahead results in a turnover. Philly Freedom Stars have it. Gardner trying to work inside. Light work, slight work. She gets that deep inside. Going to be hard to keep her from getting a bucket. Caught it right in her wheelhouse and finished. Philly Freedom Stars turning it over now. Good hustle by Brown. As far as what Brown can do for you, an example there on that play. Hustle to get back, knock that ball out of bounds. Great energy so far on the defensive side for Alexis Brown. There's a three ball on the way. Counted for the Freedom Stars. It's Taya Thornton. Thornton makes it a 13-12 ball game. It's the first lead of the game for the Freedom Stars after that Thornton three. Foul on the play there is going to send number 24, Aaliyah Stevens, to the free throw line. In and out. Checking back into the game for the Celtics. Number 12, Tatiana Davis. As well as number 23, Ebony Hargrove. Brown will bring it up for the Celtics. 12-14 ball game. 2-point advantage for the Stars. Turnover bug has bitten the Celtics over the past couple minutes. Coach Gardner trying to keep his team moving upward. Tray ball on the way from Wagner. It's no good. Wagner able to get on her horse and chase that one down, though. Too much mustard on the pass for Gardner. Gardner had a wide open layup. She was ready to finish. Pass came in a little too hot. All back over to the Celtics. Good looking lefty stroke there. Knocked down by Tatiana Davis, who's recently checked in. She's another Morgan County Lady Bulldog. High school teammates with Alexis Brown and Sydney Nash, as well as Selena Fortune, and other members of this Atlanta Celtics roster. That three's off the mark. Garner, strong rebound inside. Thornton can get it over to Wagner. That's a good look. Unable to cash in is Mazik. Had a traveling violation called on the play. Our man Ty Freeman there along the baseline, giving us some of the great images that you see there throughout the Peach State Basketball and Prospects Nation site. He's the man with the plan when it comes to photography here in the Atlanta area. Strong rebound, wrestled away by Taylor Tucker. Here come the Celtics the other way. Foul gonna go against Hargrove there. Freedom Stars will bring it up. Here's Thornton. Looking inside, getting it there. Got it there in a hurry. We're gonna have a trip to the charity stripe for Danielle Griffin. Griffin out of Bethlehem Catholic. No good on the free throw. Second free throw on the way. No good. Gardner working inside. Forced to be reckoned with there on the glass. Garner family, you've got head coach Ryan. Another one of his daughters, Erin Garner, currently on campus at Georgia Tech. She's playing her college ball. So plenty of trips to Atlanta for the Philly Freedom Stars and Coach Gardner coming here to compete team-wise. And sure he'll be making some trips down here to see his daughter play in person there just across I-75 in the varsity there in downtown Atlanta. Beautiful McCamish Pavilion. Jump shot off the mark. Still a one-point ball game in favor of the Celtics. Gardner clearing out space inside. Good things happen for the Freedom Stars when she gets a touchdown low. Demands a lot of attention, and even when the attention comes, there's no guarantee, depending on who the matchup is, that you'll be able to stop her from accomplishing that goal of scoring on the inside when she gets it low. She's going to have a plethora of free throw opportunities here as this game continues. Try to be able to knock as many as she can down. Given this Celtics defense, the athletes that they have out there, and the way they can really cover ground. Three off the mark, Garner. Another rebound, I'll take that. Here's Wagner. Three-pointer's off the mark, but good offensive rebound and finish there. Leah Stevens puts the Freedom Stars back up by one. Good looking shot there, quickly off the inbounds, unable to cash it in though. Is Ashley Jones. Strong take there. Stevens out of Paul VI. We'll go to the free throw line. 3 minutes, 19 seconds left to play here in the first half. Jones gets it inside to Steed. Steed going to be fouled on the play. A lot of length to contend with there on the inside. When you look at Steed in there. Our wingmate Taylor Tucker on the bench right now, but when those two are in the game at the same time, their presence is definitely felt out there on both ends. Here's Brown and the Celtics looking to run. Good looking shot for Jones. Won't fall though. Foul going to go against Jones of the Celtics. That's going to send number 2, Taya Thornton, to the free throw line. Good on the first. Good on the second. Sidney Nash getting the ball going right at the defender. Foul called on the play. Coach Gardner doesn't necessarily agree with that call. You see him pleading his case to the official. Meanwhile, Sidney Nash cashes in on the first free throw. A 17-20 ball game, 3-point advantage for the Philly Freedom Stars. Gardner continuing to work inside. There we see the nice footwork in the finish. There was some confusion there for a second. There were multiple whistles heard. None of them were on this court, though. Brown, she's already got 1 3-pointer in the first half. Change that to 2. She pulls the Celtics to within 2. Shot there by Brown. Mazik with the ball. I should get it over to Wagner. Just under 1:30 left to play in the first half. Good hustle there by Sidney Nash. That was a rebound for Gardner. Nash able to knock it away before Gardner could gather and go up. Been hard to keep Garner from scoring the last few times he's been given the ball in the post. Now we're seeing Brown get the floater game going. He's got the last 5 points for the Celtics. Ties the game at 22. In addition to what Brown's been able to do defensively here. She gets the rebound there. Little shaking up, goes down fairly hard. Might have taken a shoe to the nose there. She'll quickly shake it off, back up. Very similar to the way her brother plays there. Can take a licking and keep on ticking. Two tough ball players. Nice hustle being shown by the Celtics. We're under 10 seconds here in the first half. Brown, no good on that shot. She's got her Morgan County High School teammate Sydney Nash in there to pick up the slack. Nash fights for the rebound and gets the and one. Got the and part covered. One's on the way. Won't go down. We'll see whether the foul was called before the buzzer. And they're going to say, yes, indeed, it was. The coaching staff there for the Celtics frustrated that foul takes place. That very high degree of difficulty shot right there. Celtics foul, and Stars may be able to get points from the free throw line, but first free throw missed there by Stevens. So 2 free throws missed. If you're a Celtics fan, the ball doesn't lie. You're the Philly Freedom Stars, and just saying, hey, we just missed 2 free throws. Either way, that'll bring us to halftime. I'm Marcus Burnett. We'll be back here on Prospects Nation TV in about 2 minutes. Second half underway. We're on Prospects Nation TV. Marcus Burnett here as we get ready to bring you the final half. The Atlanta Celtics versus the Philly Freedom Stars. It's a 2-point advantage for the ATL representative. Number 4 there in your picture, Alexis Brown, a big reason for that. Hustle plays on the defensive end as well as a couple three-pointers. Finishes inside as well. Been a team effort on both ends. Combination of number 21, Taylor Tucker, as well as number 24, Tierra Steed. It's also been a good connection for the Celtics. Brown going to try to get her first three-pointer of the second half. That one a little too strong. Pass intended for Garner inside. Steed all over it. Ahead to Brown. Brown's getting ready to wheel and deal there. Instead, she'll be fouled on the floor. So Brown to inbound the ball. Here's Walker. Tray ball on the way, count it. It's good for number 23, Ebony Hargrove. Out of Putnam County High School here in Georgia. Cross-court pass. Taken away from Wagner. Here's Walker. No good on the shot, but Isis Walker out of Mountain View High School headed to the free throw line. Mountain View High School, a member of the ever-growing Gwinnett County School District. One of the newer schools out there in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Second free throw makes it 22-28 in favor of the Celtics. Garner calling for it inside. Too strong on the shot. Nice passing ahead by the Celtics. It's cashed in by Alexis Brown with the layup. Here's Wagner. The Freedom Stars trying to focus on getting the ball inside. Coach Gardner touching base with his point guard there. Coach Gardner's team currently trails by 8 after a rocky start. They were able to not only get back into the game, but lead for a few minutes. Since then, it's been all Celtics. Coach Garner, always one of those coaches with great energy for a squad. Finds ways to make his players better in wins and losses. Back from the timeout. 8-point advantage for the Celtics. Wagner with it up top. Foul there. It's going to go against Morgan Collins. Philly Freedom starts being patient. They were trying to get the ball into Gardner instead. Three from the corner. Wagner chases down the long rebound. Another three coming from the corner. That one's off the mark. Nearly another offensive rebound for the Freedom Stars, but it's pulled out of there by number 23, Hargrove, who gets it ahead with a finish by Morgan Collins. Collins makes it a 10-point advantage for the Celtics. Brittany Garner getting another trip to the free throw line. She's going to have to be able to knock these down. The guards are working hard to get her the ball in there, and she's been effective when she's gotten it inside as far as scoring and creating trips to the free throw line. And the more she can convert with the clock stagnant there at the free throw line, the better for the Freedom Stars. Misses both free throws. You've got an offensive rebound and a tough finish by Aaliyah Stevens. Make it 24-32. Collins off the mark on that shot to come to Freedom Stars the other way. Tough pass to handle. 37-27 ball game. 10-point advantage for the Atlanta Lady Celtics. Marcus Burnett joined by Brandon Clay on the mic. Brandon, two teams leaving it all on the floor here in this one.
As you see a great possession there, it really illustrates what you're saying about leaving it all on the floor. Transition baskets, finishes there. I mean, it's just been a great week. You look at Mazik there with the left-handed finish. Alexis Brown, but the shot is blocked on the backside by Aaliyah Stevens. And this tempo right here is the exact tempo that most of the game has been played with. You know, it's one of those games that honestly, 37-29, but could easily be in the 50s in terms of the tempo. Just been a struggle to be able to create and finish some shots here. As you see the missed shot there by Stevens.
Football pass is received. Cashed in. That's number 12, Tatiana Davis. Another Morgan County connection there.
Well, Brown and Davis really get it done. Morgan County's been well known for their boys basketball over the past few years. This is a situation now where the girls are going to be able to bring equal opportunity here to the school.
Something tells me Alexis Brown knows a little bit more about that boys basketball side of things as well.
Hey, I think we can credit some of that to that young fella, Tookie Brown, 2015, going to Mississippi State. And a lot like Tookie, Alexis came to our top 40 workout in March and did just that. She worked out. Her ability to make plays, be able to knock down shots, kind of a tempo-setting combo guard. Really like what she brings to the table for Daphne Pierce-Smith and the Celtics.
It's an 8-point ball game in favor of the Celtics. Gardner with another rebound inside. She's been a force to be reckoned with in there.
Well, her frame, you know, her sister Erin, freshman right now at Georgia Tech, but it's the touch and her ability to make some plays there on the interior that's going to make her a favorite of many colleges for years to come. I think she's one of the better 2018 post players that I've seen so far.
Brown gets the steal, trying to convert on the other end. Bodies flying everywhere. It's both teams getting after it. Like you talked about, the pace, we could easily be 50+ when you look at the pace, how up and down this game has been. But both teams getting back on defense ferociously.
No doubt. Well, and that's the hallmark of both of these programs with, you know, what Coach Garner does with the Philly Freedom Stars. Russell Steed, Daphne Smith do with the Celtics. They play hard, they play with passion, and they put themselves in a position to win ball games.
Big bucket there. That's Isis Walker. Walker makes it a 31-42 ball game, 11-point advantage after that three-pointer. Up top, number 8 for the Philly Freedom Stars. It's Mazik. That ball knocked out of bounds.
You're seeing Garner pleading, begging his team. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. We're right in this thing trying to make it happen.
Yes, they are. They've got 5 minutes, 52 seconds to work with. Of course, the Philly Freedom Stars looking inside for Gardner. She's got 2 trees in there around her. In the form of number 21, Tucker, as well as Steed.
I tell you what, I saw Steed make the play of the day yesterday in the early game against Bama Storm Elite. Her length and ability there at the forward spot is something the college coaches nationwide are starting to take note of.
Steed, number 24, there in the white jerseys for the Atlanta Lady Celtics.
Steed brings that length, and then you also have Hargrove, who got her hands on that last ball. Plenty of length going forward next year on the roster for the Celtics.
Their wingspan alone, you have Steed, Tucker, and Hargrove stand next to each other. You got a good portion of the court covered.
That's a college lineup right there. That's a big shot and a knockdown there for Philly Freedom.
34-42 ball game as they pull it to within 8 points. Brown back to Walker. Good drive, but good defense there. Gardner.
I like that defense there from Thompson, Thornton, putting himself in a position after the made shot to contribute on the other end as well.
And we're seeing that energy that's brought to the game there by Coach Ryan Gardner really shown in his players there on the floor there that last possession.
Well, there's Brown making a play, receiving a pass from Hargrove, and then finishing.
Easiest 1-2-3 there for the Celtics is it's 44-34. It's a 10-point ball game. If you're the Philly Freedom Stars, their bread and butter has really been getting the ball into Gardner and then just figuring things out from there, whether it's her scoring in the post, getting trips to the free throw line.
Double team there. Steps through the double team and still gets off a quality shot, even though it doesn't fall, she'll go to the line.
And for those that don't know, talk about the pedigree, for Gardner when you look at where the family's at right now.
No question. Well, her older brother's playing collegiately. Talked about her older sister, Erin, being a freshman at Georgia Tech. She was a ProspectsNation.com Elite 100 prospect in the 2014 class. She's been involved with what we're doing now for almost 2 years already and still has not played a high school varsity game. So to have that type of experience, now getting the opportunity to play in front of some of the nation's top schools that have been here, watching her this week, whether it's Texas, Oklahoma State, Penn State, all those schools have been in. George Washington, Sydney, Air Force. I mean, she's a kid that's going to become a household name if all goes well in her development. And judging by the last name of the guy coaching, that should be the case. Go put herself in a great position going forward.
Second free throw on the way for Gardner's good to go. She makes it a 9-point ball game, single-digit deficit faced by the Celtics. Walker to Brown. Brown makes the right pass to Steve. Steve can't finish. Nothing but arms in there, snatching the ball out of the air. Celtics retain possession.
Nice little move there from Brown. Has the defender riding her back. Brown falls to the ground like, what more do I have to do, man? But she does get the call, and they're going to get the ball there on the Celtics end.
Talked about Brown's durability earlier in the game, and it's just, like I said, I know we touched on it multiple times, but just reminds me of her brother a lot.
Yes.
With that size, but not afraid to go in there, mix it up, take the contact, hit the ground 5 or 6 times, if not more during the game, getting right back up.
Agreed. That was a good look there. Those are the types of shots that really Celtics. You get the penetration from Walker, you get the pitch to Nash. Everything falls but the bucket, but those are great shots right now on the flow of the game.
Brown saying, let me show you the mid-range game as well.
I'm telling you, those are the same types of shots she was making at top 40 that left us with such a good impression of her game. Definitely loved to see her. Thought she had a great spring, summer, and now it's showing well here again in the fall.
Freedom Stars still trail by 11. Time continuing to run out. They've got just over 3 minutes left. Coach Garner has them spacing out, being patient. And with Coach Garner, he wants to come and make sure they get this game, but also always looking to make sure that he's teaching them for that next test.
No question. He's one of the best teachers in the game in terms of coaching. I think you mentioned him. You mentioned Ray Caldwell of San Antonio's finest, Scott Johnson, West Virginia Thunder. We talked about Jared Parmley earlier with Kentucky Premier. Ken Huffman with the OTO is elevating himself into that category of people who are consistently putting young ladies in college and doing a great job of teaching them along the way. I think Sarah Nuxall from Blue Star, Florida is another one that we definitely want to mention right there inside of that group.
You missed the Blue Star Florida webcast earlier today. Didn't catch the live portion. Be sure to watch it on demand. They were able to get a victory over Carolina Express. They were earlier on Prospects Nation TV. Here's Sydney Nash at the free throw line now.
Well, and that's what Nash brings to this team is her ability to be able to make shots. Reminds me in that regard a lot of a former Celtic and Carly Gilreath, who now is at USC Aiken, was that similar type of player for them a couple of summers ago here.
Shots out to Aiken, one of the first spots you'll hit crossing into that South Carolina state.
That's our favorite state here on SUV TV, Prospects Nation TV. Big shout out to everybody from the Palmetto State.
Most definitely. 12-point ball game.
Well, the Celtics have done a good job. I thought, even when we got kind of rolling about 6 minutes ago, Philly had an opportunity, even with that made 3 when Thornton hit it, to cut this game to that 4 or 5 point margin. A lot like we talked about when in the last game Kentucky Premier was able to stretch it back from 10 to 5. Yeah. Or excuse me, from 5 to 10 in that game. The OTO was making a push. They were able to be the better team there for that minute and stretch it out.
We got a timeout. 2 minutes, 3 seconds left to play here on this one. Brandon, some of your your key bullet points as you I'm sure you'll be touching base with Chris Watkins, our Prospects Nation TV video coordinator, and different elements from a recap standpoint, but just give us just some of the tidbits from this past weekend.
Talent. There's just loads of talent in every class, whether it's unsigned 15s, Amriel Howard, top 100 in the country, Maya Benham, an elite 150 watch list player. You've got so many good quality kids. Ashley Rodriguez from Florida Flight took off this weekend. Macy Morris, number 32 in the country, already committed to Kentucky. Why is she still playing? Well, because she wants that competition opportunity to get better. I thought the second thing was, the exposure piece, whether it's Prospects Nation TV, Marcus, whether it's the multitude of college coaches that have flown in here. Over 120 schools have been in the building this weekend. That's actually a new record for the fall weekend for us, but honestly, it's the most amount of talent that we've had. Talent so good that on the next court, I'm watching Carolina All-Stars play, Douglasville Lady Tigers right across the way. Gary Blair, the head coach of Texas A&M, and Matthew Mitchell, the head coach of Kentucky, both in the building for that one. That one's not even on Prospects Nation TV. That's how you know we're getting the job done with a packed baseline of schools, and that game's not even being televised.
Yeah, nothing beats that litmus test like the back row.
It's a beautiful thing.
2 minutes, 3 seconds left to play here in this one. First free throw good to go there by Tierra Steed. Attends Wheeler High School, a good place to be when it comes to basketball here these days.
Yes, it is. I'm sure she's familiar with that young fella, Jalen Brown, top 5 in the country on the men's side in 2015. Steed making a mark of her own there at Wheeler.
35-48 ball game. That three-pointer's just short. Steed with another rebound.
I'll tell you what, I like Natalie Ryan, though. I know that shot didn't go in, but I think she's a guard capable of knocking down those shots, being able to make plays. Same thing for Sydney Wagner. Sydney Wagner's had a really good weekend. So when you start to look to the future, those are two kids. Ryan is an 18, Wagner is a 17, Marcus. A lot to be excited about if you're Urian Garner playing with your sophomore team, getting into this game versus primarily 2016 with a couple of 17 grads there for the Celtics. This is definitely a positive takeaway game for them.
They're down by 13 and fought hard this entire game and really hit stretches where they were able to mature as a team and as individual players.
When you look at who they beat to get here, whether it's Carolina All-Stars Bond, Kentucky Premier's got a very good team. I mean, they did a really good job of beating teams that have very similar, if not equal to talent as the Celtics, and putting themselves in a position to play in this championship game.
It would be fun to watch these young ladies and this team over the next couple years at our circuit of events.
No question. This is one of the reasons why I love Ryan Garner so much. Same thing with Russell Steed over here. A minute left. Both of them are coaching their teams. Neither one of them is feeling great. You see Daphne Pierce-Smith contributing to the Celtics huddle. Both huddles are locked in, and they know that for these kids, high school season is next, but then they come back, and this is going to be their club roster, maybe with an addition or two along the way. For the 2015 season, they're already starting to try to build the life lessons and the floor lessons for these kids.
It's chess, not checkers. Definitely some good moves being made here over the course of this weekend.
Well, it's one of the reasons why both of these teams are on this stage, and you look at what it provides. Now you're going to be able to start getting mail from some of the top institutions in the country, some of the great regional schools that we have in here. I see Mercer too deep on this game. UNC Asheville's had 3 coaches here for the majority of the weekend. It's just been great. Georgia Southern is in here. Lander's in here. You talk about a lot of great regional universities, as well as the national field that we talked about with the Gary Blair, with the Matt Mitchell, with George Washington, and those schools also sitting on this one.
You mentioned the learning experience, the positive game this has been for the Philly Freedom Stars, continuing to add to it as they fight. They forced a couple turnovers here over this past minute stretch. They get a trip to the free throw line.
Well, and they're not going to back down. You know, I take it back to the Aaliyah Butts days and the Garner days a couple summers ago. And, you know, Aaliyah Butts now a freshman at Temple. Chelsea Woods, I mean, they had a whole rack of kids that were going to make you play. And this group is looking to be no different. You know, maybe headlined by Garner, but plenty of talent here for him to continue to build on over the course of the next 2 years as he ushers the next wave through.
Short on the free throw. Pass ahead. Who's there to get it
Great
other
pass.
than Alexis Brown?
Great pass. Love what Jones did there to be able to catch, scoop, and score.
Gardner continuing to work inside.
Well, her footwork is so refined for a young player her age. As one of our national evaluators, Clyde Pritchard, sits on the back baseline. I could tell by his face. I've been around him for years. He was thoroughly impressed with that move. What a great move there from Garner, showing the type of touch that had people like Texas assistant Travis Mays, Cincinnati assistant Aaron Swinson, Penn State assistant Jocelyn Wyatt, all on hand this weekend to watch the young kid play.
I think you were the first one to introduce me to that Clyde Pritchard phrase, good old sweet feet.
Oh, sweet feet. Chantel Osahor, man.
Well, we're going to get on the good foot here on Prospects Nation TV. We appreciate you joining us here on all weekend. Brandon, in closing.
Awesome weekend. You know, largely in part to the work of you and your team, Marcus, man. We're appreciative for everything, capturing these moments for our viewers on Prospects Nation Television.
Thanks for joining us, you all. You all take care. This is Marcus Burnett signing off with Brandon Clay.